Well, hey, folks, those of you watching on YouTube, Facebook's going to kick off here in just a second, and then we'll talk. Good morning, IR. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? How is everybody this wonderful Thanksgiving week? I hope you are brining your turkeys, baking your pies, getting all that stuff ready. I don't know who needs to hear this, but please take your turkey out of the freezer right now. Go do it. We'll wait a few minutes. You back? Okay, good. Remember, bottom of the fridge now, not up top. It'll stay cold up top. You want it lower racks on the fridge. That bottom right of the fridge is the warmest spot. Warm being relative. You don't want it warm. It'll spoil it. Kill y'all. Anyway, how the heck are you? Happy Monday. Hope everybody's doing just fine. Welcome to the Crazy Gibberish. I am your handsome host, Bill Sylvie, and it's damn good to see you today. It really is. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. We've got some cool stuff today. We've got some user-donated, contributed swag that I am going to be showing off to you guys today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Tuesday D&D game. Hope you're all going to be here for that. And we're going to talk about other gaming. So, and this was interesting. This is something that I thought was pretty darn interesting. Now, I don't know how viable this is. I don't know if this is going to work. But apparently, let me see if I can find the link. I should have had that link up. But apparently, planned for Lake Geneva is a, quote, immersive D&D inspired restaurant and amusement center. So, it's a little odd. It's a little weird. And I'll tell you why. And I'm going to put the link up. You can go read the article yourself if you want. Link into it on the Facebook, on the YouTube. So let me just read this article for you. Pull up a stool, Tannis Half-Elven, and check this out. A Burlington man wants to build an immersive restaurant and amusement center in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, aka the birthplace of Dungeons and Dragons. In fact, let me see if I can do this. Let me do the whole. Let me add. Is that gonna work? That's not gonna work. All right, hold on. Go away. Let's do window capture. Is that gonna work? That's not working either. Okay, go to the link to follow this along. Sorry. Anyway, the D&D inspired Wonderland would be called the Griffin and Gargoyle and would include a tavern, an antiquity shop, a steampunk cocktail bar, some axe throwing lanes in the basement. We are, dice rolls, really excited. Our vision is to provide a unique space wherein customers have the freedom to step outside of themselves and share creative, interactive, and collaborative experiences, G&G's website reads. As we seek to immerse our guests in a true celebration of the genre of fantasy and tabletop role-playing, we hope to provide an extraordinary adventure that our guests won't ever forget. G&G is projected to open in 2024. In the meantime, you can find information via its website or this piece from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Here are some renderings. Here's the lance not included. And then there's some art that I will likely steal to use in D&D games. So, a D&D themed restaurant, pub, bar, theme park thing in Lake Geneva. Now, if I'm wrong about what I'm about to say, if the weather has changed up there, I apologize going forward. I'm not trying to speak for anyone in the Lake Geneva area. I'm way down here in Florida, man. Okay? Although I will point out, and I have pointed out many times, Florida has, first of all, we have a Geneva, Florida. And second of all, the town of Mount Dora, Florida is frighteningly identical to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Like, if you blindfolded someone and teleported them from Florida in the middle of Mount Dora to Lake Geneva at exactly the same time of year, and then took off their blindfold and said, "Now where are you?" They'd say, "We're still on Main Street in Mount Dora." They're that similar. But I digress. My understanding from people who tried to have a go at D&D themed things in Lake Geneva proper in the mid 2000s was that folks in Lake Geneva don't really give a shit about Dungeons and Dragons. They don't. And by folks, I mean the moneyed people, the people who own the property and the lands and such. They want Lake Geneva to be a hunting and golfing resort area and the beach resort. That's it. They don't want parades of nerds traipsing up and down the streets anymore, because they don't come in and buy their wives $500 Louis Vuitton handbags from boutiques on the main street there. They don't spend, $2,000 on a new set of clubs because they bent their 9-iron out at the Grand Geneva. They're there to hunt, golf, play in the lake, or all three, and that's it. And that's kind of been part of the problem of getting a Gygax memorial up there, is that the town just seems to not care about that aspect of their history. Given the moral panic and the fact that TSR is not there anymore, there seems to be very little of a damn given about things Dungeons and Dragons related. That has been my impression that I've gotten from people who made a business go in Lake Geneva. If that's wrong, then say so. Leave it in the comments, comment on me in the videos, and say, "No, Bill, you're completely wrong." But let me know. Chris Kane, long time no see. Sadly, the Green Dragon in Murfreesboro is closed. That place was always fun to visit. I don't know. I don't know what a Louis Vuitton bag costs. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this place is going to be a good to go kind of thing or not for Lake Geneva. I hope it is. I hope it is, I mean, how kick-ass would that be if TSR Con and Gary Con are both going concerns, and people are really starting to pay attention to Lake Geneva as the mecca for gaming that it was all the way back in the 70s, and that kind of generates some interest, then maybe they've got a built-in audience there. I mean, to be honest, if it existed and it wasn't just complete stinky cheese, which Wisconsin is not known for. Wisconsin has really good cheese. And I was going to go to one of those two conventions. I would go to this place. I would check this place out. Is it going to be big enough to sustain outside of those two con times? Again, don't know. I mean, the summer season around Lake Geneva seems to be a pretty active time, with lots of folks going to the beach and the Grand Geneva. Well, I'm sure the Grand Geneva and the Wilderness Resort up on that end of town. And if you know Lake Geneva, you know what we're talking about. And the Cove in Lake Geneva proper seem to be pretty jumping and crowded in a good way places. So maybe that'll work out. I don't know. I hope it does work out for them. I hope it does. I just don't know if it will. But then I'm just this D&D guy, right? But I just thought that was a little bit of interesting RPG news to bring you guys today. Something else that's interested and gaming related. IR says, other gaming? Yes. So I have decided Oh wow, Vinny is setting the Facebook. I'll get back to you, Vinny. Don't worry. I'll read all comments. Um, so as this channel is founded in old school gaming, and in addition to just talking to you guys about cool stuff, fun stuff, as you know, maybe you don't know, maybe you're new here, maybe you stumbled on this, maybe the YouTube metrics sent you over here, and you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Be that as it may, every Tuesday from 12:30 to 1:30, we play First Edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and live stream it right to you guys. But we have other interests than First Edition AD&D here. Original D&D, basic Dungeons and Dragons of certain stripes, and other old school TSR games, including Gamma World. Now, I bought a print-on-demand First Edition Gamma World. I had never owned Gamma World First Edition back in the day. And that I was able to get my hands on a copy, just, I was elated. I was, oh my gosh, this is so cool, because an actual First Edition Gamma World set is prohibitively expensive. But I snagged one print-on-demand, and it's really cool, and it's really AD&D-like. And so last year, well, I say last year, but it was March. It was just back in March. I ran, for the first time ever, I ran a Gamma World game. And people really seemed to dig it. Now, Gamma World states right in its rules, and we've gone over this before, that it is designed to be compatible with First Edition AD&D. And if you look at Mutants and Magic in the Dungeon Master's Guide, Mutants and Magic talks about how to blend a Gamma World and AD&D together, how to have crossover campaigns. So the two are very closely related. I wouldn't even say cousins. I would say they're brothers to each other. One could make the comment that the engine of AD&D is what drives Gamma World, although there are distinct differences. It's not precisely like, well, here's a Buick and here's a Chevy, and you can just swap the engines back and forth. It's a little different. So, with that in mind, it was very simple for me to run a Gamma World game. I was not troubled. I did not feel like, oh man, this is, I got a ton of rules to learn. It was a lot of fun. We ran out of time. Unfortunately, we could not complete my scenario. I am terrible at scenario time management. I always need an hour or two more than I think, and then more time on that, because I feel like I've got more time. An hour of game time is not a lot. It's not a lot. But I decided that to give you guys a taste, not only to help hone game mastering skills, but to give folks a taste of what 1E Gamma World is like, because there have been like 5 editions of that set. I don't know. And everyone after the first one was not written by James Ward and was not particularly great. Second edition had its heart in the right place, but as it went on, it just, in my opinion, just completely lost the plot. So, starting in the new year, on Friday evenings, I'm going to be running a live-streamed First Edition Gamma World campaign. If you are interested in I got 1 participant signed up already. If that's something you'd like to do, hit me up in the Discord. If you leave a message in the chat, I may miss it. But if you want to play Friday nights, we'll figure out a time, maybe 7:30 Eastern Standard on Friday nights, and we'll play First Edition Gamma World. So you guys let me know if that's something you'd like to do, if you'd like to participate in that. like the AD&D game, it's going to be a participatory learning experience. It's going to be about reinforcing those good traits of game mastering and learning a new role-playing system. And possibly, no promises, crossing over a little with AD&D, but we'll see how that goes. So keep that in mind. Put that up in your date book after the first of the year, probably first week of January. It's not going to happen yet. I think trying to start it now is just asking for disaster. So let's go. Let's see what Vinny says. I think I know what this place is. It's new. There's another D&D-esque amusement park out west. Hello, Rich Lopez. Greetings to you. Opening on the 50th anniversary. Pretty smart. I thought so too. So greetings to our viewers over on Facebook. Hello, Ricky. It's okay for being late. Now, speaking of strange locations, this is actually a thing. There is an art installation out in the middle of the desert called the Desert Louis Vuitton store. And an artist got permission from, I don't know, one of the counties that is like 99% desert in New Mexico or Arizona. I think New Mexico. It's literally on a stretch of extremely lonely highway. Or maybe it's Prada. I can't remember. I think it's Prada. But it is an exclusive clothier's boutique. But it's in the middle of nowhere. And they have many high-end items in the displays and in the windows. Now, the thing is sealed up. It's like, the door is fake. You can't actually get into it. Everything's welded shut and all. And there are initially there were actually genuine handbags and so on. And it's an art installation, and it's like something you would see on Hollywood Boulevard. Well, they put these expensive handbags and stuff. Marfa, Texas. Okay, Chris Kane knows what I'm talking about. The Prada store in Marfa, Texas. When they first built the installation, they just built it like a normal store. Yeah, somebody came by with a sledgehammer and relieved them of thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in product because they used real Prada bags and shoes and other accessories. Somebody smashed the windows and took all that stuff out of there. Which, if you ask me, is equally as Dadaist an expression of art as the act of building the store itself. But I don't really want to go. I don't really want to go into schools of art. I like Dada. I like surrealism. I like hyperrealism. I like all forms of art, really. I can look at it and appreciate a Jackson Pollock, a Salvador Dali, and a Renoir, and just take it all in and enjoy the hell out of it. So yeah, they built a Prada store, put real Prada products in it, and then it got completely looted. They did it again, but they put much heavier duty glass in the windows this time. And I think the products that they restocked it with were imitations. So it still looks the part, but now they made it very clear these are imitations. But yeah, somebody relieved them of tens of thousands of dollars in products when they first put the art installation in. So anyway, German start expressionist is great. Yes. The Bauhaus is wonderful. But let's not linger here. When it comes to artful things, of course, we love D&D here on the show. That is what this show is all about. So last year, donated to the show. Was it last year? I don't remember. Anyway, viewer Rusty Schaefer, yes, Linrick from the Tuesday game, Volcano God, donated to the show a Holmes Basic set, which is a wonderful thing. It is the launch pad of many, many, many people's enjoyment of D&D. Now, I started with a Holmes Basic compatible copy of B2, but remember, I didn't actually have the rule book. I used B2 and kind of reverse engineered the rules. The first rule set that I had was a mashup of AD&D and Moldvay Basic. I didn't see a Holmes set until my girlfriend up the street found a Holmes D&D set at a flea market and bought it and showed it to me. And I was like, wow, this is tonally way different from the basic D&D I have. This is more like AD&D. And then it referenced AD&D a bunch. So I never had a Holmes set until I did, and then I had to sell it, and then Linrick, Rusty, got me another one. A complete Holmes set nowadays is a very pricey thing. I've seen them. Hey, there he is. But a complete Holmes set is a very pricey thing, regardless of whether it's dice and a rule book and module, or rule book and chits and monsters and treasures. Regardless of what it is. But the set he got me was damn near complete. It even had which we've looked over in here, it had a product flyer in it. If you guys remember looking over the product flyer, but it didn't have dice. And it didn't have a chit card in it. So whatever it came from, it didn't have those. So, excuse me. I really wish I had some water. But to complete the set, he found this great thing on Etsy, and I'm going to show this to you guys now. Let me just, whoa, hit the camera. Wait for that to stop shaking, and let me just flip over to that. So to complete the set, he found on Etsy, this is called Dice and Crayons. And this is, you're seeing the scale right. It looks like the Holmes Basic set. It's called Homage Set. And it's a little box set that includes some goodies. And yes, dice and crayons. So we have a colored set of dice, of D&D dice. And the coloration on these dice follows the style of the Holmes dice set. Isn't that cool? So let's take a look at what's in this box. First of all, to read the back, it says, these iconic dice pay homage to the most beloved set of dice ever created. The original Holmes dice were included in a box set of gaming materials made 1977 to 1980. These polyhedral dice are perfectly proportioned and updated with easy-to-read numbers, sharp edges, and modern durable materials. Now, you might notice that it looks like there's gaming books in there, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. And then we have some crayons there, and then there's the dice. So let's crack it open and see what we get as we do this unboxing. And this is not an easy box to open. I tried to pre-stage this, and then it gradually just slid shut again. So there we go. So first up, I'll just set this, I don't want to cover up the Bards of Greyhawk thing there. First up, we have the Basic Quest and Map Collection. And it said, you may find yourself living in a forest shack, and you may find yourself in a strange, fantastic world. Okay, I see what they're doing here. They're little Talking Heads reference, and I like it. You may ask yourself, where is my longsword? And you may ask yourself, how do I kill this louse? And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful castle. This is not my beautiful dice. So we have a basic quest and map section here. We're going to look at the other stuff. And what this is it is a 4-page map set. Now, it's dotted lined off, but there's no way I would cut this. So you can see here are some basic dungeon layouts, just some very simple dungeon layouts. You can get a look there. Map 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see, is there one on the back? Oh, there's 1 and 6. So you can roll a d6 to pick which map you're going to use. And then also, this is very helpful. This has a table on it. So here we have a list of hooks. Roll a d8. Town hires to save a kidnapped victim. Rock slide reveals an opening leading down. Hired to clear out a place. A dying person speaks of a great treasure. A location to explore appears in a dream. Wizard needs adventurers for something to be done. A book reveals a location of an ancient treasure. A ghostly apparition sends you on a mysterious quest. And then we have monsters to fill the dungeon with. Bugbears and goblins. Undead, skeletons, zombies, and ghouls. Slimes, oozes, and jellies. Bandits led by a skilled rogue and a veteran fighter. Orcs led by an orc shaman. Goblins, a horde of goblins led by an orc. Beholder, he wants to make a deal, possibly. Kobolds and all the traps that they can build. Elementals, earth, air, fire, and water. Maybe a wizard has summoned them here. Vermin, giant rats, and spiders. Then we have a young adult dragon. On 1 to 3, it's chromatic, black, red, green, or white. And 4 to 6, metallic, copper, silver, gold, and brass. And then we have treasure. Gold coins, 3D 100. A large gem, 5D 10 gold pieces. A book, possibly spellbook. Platinum idol, 5D 100 GP. A magic weapon, 3D 4 silver bars, 25 gold pieces each. A set of 2 immovable rods. 10d6 diamonds, 10 gold pieces each. Magic armor or shield. Silver holy symbol, 50 gold pieces. Healing potions, d6. Each does 2d4 plus 2 healing. Or a magic ring. So you have a simple adventure generation system right there that you can just tuck right in to your D&D set. Vinny says, this is nice. I've come close to getting this set. Well, I have nothing but good things to say about this set so far. So we have, and this is kind of neat. Sorry. My big meat hooks there. We have a character sheet. A character bio sheet. And this is strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, comeliness. And so it's not precisely the standard. That leans a little bit more 5e-ish there, but so you've got player character, creature class, alignment, liege. There goes my light. Somebody cue up the Baker Street. Hit and damage bonuses, armor class and hit points, experience kills. And of course you'd want to scan this or Xerox this to make your own with. But yeah, it's just a simple thing. Just a simple blank character sheet. Now there's also, this one appears a little bit more TSR-ish. This looks a little bit more like an OD&D character sheet. Again, with stats and so on. I would be more inclined to use this one, just because I like the look of it a little bit better. But it's the same basic stuff. It's just a good, fun looking character sheet. And then finally, we have a little pamphlet here, and this is kind of a catalog, and this is an about the artist sort of thing. We have some illustrations here. of characters doing characters things, and that doesn't really give us much in the way of content as we might like, but it's nice to see the artist's work. And then there's a untitled version of her cover art. And there's the young lady herself. Sam L.L. Reese, cover artist. Sam is a graphic artist living in Brazil. Her art features an aesthetic that gives her work a clean and passionate feel. She created the homage box art for this dice set using vintage art as a reference, creating and updating the original works that truly pays homage to the fantasy art of past days. Sam's art for our Zuccotti Dungeon Master screens can be seen below. So I guess they do more than just that. So there's our papery content. Now let's take a look at the dice. This was a show donation, so I don't really know what they cost, Ricky, but... And so I have not colored these in yet. These have got some heft to them. These are kind of larger for old eyes, which is nice, but they've got some heft to them, and I like them. I'm going to be using these. I am going to be using these dice. Now, my only sole, solitary, single gripe complaint about the dice, about the actual dice themselves, is the D20 is not a 0 to 20 die, or a 1 to 0 die, where you would color half in with one color and half in with the other to know whether you were rolling a 1 or an 11 or a 19 or a 9 or what have you. It is actually a quote-unquote normal D20, but all the numbers are nice deep cut grooves, and look how chunky that D8 is, and that thing's going to eat a whole crayon by itself. And my only other complaint is there are burrs, but I'll tell you a little something. So sharp-edged dice nowadays are going to have these burrs on them from where they were cast. Those only get scrubbed off on rounded edge dice these days. So if you want no burrs on the dice, you got to get rounded edge dice. Even like the last set of game science dice I had burrs on it, and they were not good. The powder blue game science dice I got were not great dice. The numbers are too shallow to hold coloring, and the burrs are ever present. And one of them, actually, you could see in the plastic, it had a bit of a fingerprint. Like whoever took it out of the mold was just handling it with their bare hands. So these are better than those. They've got some chalk to them, some heft to them. They seem to roll well, and I'm going to use my fine files to gently clean them up. An acrylic nail file, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing with these. The D4 is not sharp cornered. That's a little bit disappointing. I still have a Holmes D4 kicking around here somewhere, and a truly pointy D4 would have been my preference. And here are our two crayons, a black one and a red one. And these are just standard looking crayons, not the generic TSR with a gray paper around them, but that's okay. That's not that big of a deal. So once I get these cleaned up and colored in, I think all the contents of this box, the box is beautiful, the box is a nice display piece, but the contents of this box is going into my home set because it's that nice. It's that nice, and it's utilitarian, and I like it a lot. But for now, I'm going to put everything back together here. And you can see, and then this will go on the wall behind me. And you know, while I've got the camera out, I want to show you guys something that I've only kind of waved at you guys here. And it's time for a commercial. It's time for a sponsorship break. Our friends over at Hellebard Games have been making fantastic supplements for role-playing games for a while now. They have published one of my classic modules for Osric, Temple of the Sun. that is now available through Hellebard Games as an Osric module. So let me just show you. They have a few of these in print left in stock, only available through Hellebard, but if you want a PDF, you can get it from DriveThruRPG. Use the discount code, the Dungeon Delver 01, for a discount on a copy of Temple of the Sun. That is good for another couple of weeks. Till December 15th, you will get a discount on a copy of Temple of the Sun. But let me show you the print Temple of the Sun, since I have the camera up right here. Hold on. So check this out. That is what I am talking about. Getting a little bit of light on it there. Temple of the Sun, with modules and supplementary material in. Whether you're getting it for Osric or for Castles and Crusades, you get a great module with a removable cover, and yes, these non-repro blue maps, and these maps were drawn by yours truly. That's right. These bad boys right here, usable in your AD&D or Castles and Crusades campaign. And if you're not familiar with Castles and Crusades, it is a very lightweight, old school feeling, yet modernish rules set without all the dross of 3rd edition and so on. Osric, of course, is compatible with the best version of Dungeons & Dragons. I don't think your copy will say prototype across the cover like this one does, but you will otherwise get this amazing module. You can get that in print straight from hellebardgames.com. Right there. hellebardgames.com. So go check them out. My friends over there. And tell them Bill Sylvie sent you. All right. So let's just come back over here. And hello again in the dark. Yeah, I'm gonna be cleaning these bad boys up later today. I have a lot of things to do today. But you know, there is one other thing. I wasn't really gonna actually share this because it's not D&D related, but it is too cool not to share. So, as you may know, it's just too nice of a gift to not show you guys. I'm not gonna go into a huge big deal about it because it's a personal gift and it's something that is very cool, that was given by a friend last night. I'll switch over to the camera one more time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got this last night. There is more than just what I'm going to show you on the camera. But check this out. Your eyes do not deceive you. That is an original Star Trek communicator. Well, it is in the style of an original Star Trek communicator. And what this is, see if I can I turn it on? Is there enough battery? There we go. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but when I flip it open, so keep your ears open. Yes, this guy right here, and it's got the Mora pattern going in the center. Little magnetic field effect. And it does all these sound effects.
Captain, this is Sulu. We read you.
Beam us up, Mr. Scott. Spock here. Status of your landing party? Are you out of your Vulcan mind? I'm a doctor, not an engineer.
Captain, this is Sulu. We read you. We have volunteers standing by to beam down.
I'm sorry, sir. That's about the best I can do, but I guarantee it's not good enough.
Let's see.
Stand by for regular contact. Kirk out.
So, yes, I have a Star Trek communicator. I got this as an early Christmas gift last night. And I love this to death. Rusty, thank you so much. This is the coolest damn thing in the world. This is a Bluetooth headset and speaker. I can pair this with my phone and just walk around. It's like, oh, I'm getting a call, and talk to somebody on my Star Trek communicator. This is really well constructed. The antenna grill is the gold part here. The antenna grill is metal. This is solid. It's got some heft to it. I just love this thing, and I was geeking out about it so hard. I know we've talked about classic Star Trek on the show, so I got this as an early Christmas gift last night. The charging base, it uses, like you see, there's no like USB connections to it or anything. It uses a magnetic wireless charging base that it sits on really nicely. I can't wait to learn how to work that thing. Pair it up to my phone and just be walking through the store and strike up a conversation with somebody. This is super cool. Thank you, Rusty. Thank you for that awesome gift. So now we'll go back over. Now we'll come back over. There we go. Hello. So I really dig that. That's less of a thing for the show and more just something that I had to geek out about. Like, I was not gonna I was originally gonna be like, yeah, that's neat, I may mention it, but then I'm like, no, man, I gotta show that off. So I'm not a guy, like, I mean, on the rare times I thought about cosplaying, it's like only if I can like craft my own set of like power armor or something like that and go to a con and really just intimidate the shit out of people cosplaying like that. Not like, oh, I'll get some plastic Vulcaneers and a blue shirt and, make something like this and just go as Spock. No, I mean, seriously, this is just so cool. It's just so cool. Thank you again, Rusty, for the gift. That's not a show donation. That's just a me thing, and I just wanted to show it off. I'm getting all my Christmas gifts early this year. Hello, Mr. Grooves. I'm getting all my Christmas gifts early this year because I got the Hero Quest set came in. I told the wife, I'm like, look, I bought myself a gift like last November, and it's going to get here, and I'm going to want to open it and show it to the show. And I did that. We did an unboxing of it. So like Christmas this year for me is probably going to be like, another Guinness bar towel and a book. Not a lot of stuff to geek out about, but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, the spirit of giving is universal, and it's year round. So I love my little communicator, and it came in one more thing I'll geek out about. It came in a really cool container, but I couldn't help but think about the box. Here, I'm going to slip it in too. It's got a little protector that you can carry it in, and I'll show you that on camera. But it's such a tight fit that like getting it out and then getting it out of this thing and then flipping it open, I think you might miss your call before then. Let me see if I can get that on camera. Get that turned back around. One more view. So yeah, it's got this nice carrying case, which you don't want to keep it in because you want to show it off, right? And then it's got padded sections. The charger base fits over here, and then another like another piece of the charger base, and then the communicator goes in the middle, and then there's foam divots out there. So it's a nice little gun case thing. I know they're going for authenticity, and while I'm not a guy who has like the Star Trek Engineer's Handbook or anything, I tend to think that like, when you become a Federation crewman, like they just like give you your uniform and precariously balanced on the top is the communicator, which I didn't show it on camera, but it's in this little leatherette carrying case. they're just like, here, 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 don't lose this. It's not some fancy case. A hand phaser, yeah, I think that they, even if they like issued you that, it wasn't just like, if you ever need a hand phaser, you'll go to the armory and get one. But this, yeah, I would tend to think they'd just be like, here, it's when you put it on a stand, or when you lay it on a table, it's drawing charge from the Enterprise's power grid when you're not using it. So I tend to think not that the Federation has those fancy cases, probably because there are more of those cases empty due to communicators being lost than there are cases with the communicators stored safely in them. But anyway, that was just kind of a wonderful gift that I got yesterday, and I'm very, very happy about it. Mr. Groove says, icky fetishism. Is that in reference to the leather case? Communicator is great, but let me know when I can pick up a phaser pistol. The laundromat on a Federation ship has got to be a nightmare. Yes. It's that weird Star Trek space socialism. It's like it doesn't matter whose pants you get. Like they're the Relaxo Fit cloth that automatically adjusts. Just put them on. But I remember seeing Patrick Stewart interviewed about the original series once, and he said that you'll notice on the original series, before anybody sits down, see, on the original Star Trek, it was like cotton t-shirts and pants, or unipiece mini dresses for most of the cast on the show. It was really just kind of flimsy, slightly scratchy, but wearable wear. On the Next Generation, and I don't know if this ever got better, before they'd sit down, you'd see them do that. And the reason is they're basically straightening out the top of the unitard as they sit down, because if they don't, the thing's like it's like neoprene or something like that. And if you sit down, if you don't take all the slack out of it, like the collar will push up like that. Apparently was the deal. So watch an old episode of TNG if you can stomach it, and you'll notice, like, when Picard goes to sit down, everybody will do this little pull down right at the waist, and they're taking up a wrinkle that will form and basically just ripple back up and push up the collar like way up high. So there's your little Star Trek trivia. Cosplay. Yeah, cosplay is icky fetishism. Not that there's wrong with... Anyway, best to leave that alone. So those are just some cool things. We really, really appreciate the donation a lot for cool stuff for this show. I'm going to be, like, over the holidays, I'm going to be trying to redo the wall behind me a little bit with some brackets and so forth, that I can put more stuff for display on, put more D&D stuff up for display, painted miniatures and so on behind me on the wall over here. 40 more cases of severe chafing today, Jim. That was some itchy polyester blend mess. Yeah, I can't imagine on any of the Star Treks that that those outfits were comfortable. I remember, like, so I didn't watch a bunch of Next Generation. I didn't like it. I know everybody's like, oh, I like old Star Trek. Oh, you mean like Picard and Riker? The Riker meme. Oh, they have 4 lights. Oh, isn't that great? And I'm like, no, that's not what I mean. I like old Star Trek. That's it. But I did watch some Next Generation. So, like my distaste for 3rd edition and so on and etc., I know of what I speak. I didn't just decide that I didn't like it because it was new. We'll see you around, Chris. Peace. Be well. But they kind of do the space seed thing, except the people, the cryogenically frozen people, aren't genetic supermen who want to destroy the Federation and then take it over because they just want to pick up on their whole, space National Socialist German attitudes. They're just normal people. One of them's like a country western star. One of them's a businessman. One of them's, I don't know. I can't remember what her deal is. And aside from the ridiculous bullshit that they told the businessman, like, the pursuit of money is no longer a concern in the 22nd century. And Picard moralizing at this guy for wanting to, to be rich. Which, by the way, is bullshit. Okay. Harry Mudd, Cyrano Jones, just off the top of my head, two pure capitalists right there who wanted to be rich. The bartender on Starbase K7 or K6 or whatever it was, yeah, Cyrano ran up a serious bar tab. So, they're explaining this to this guy, and they get them some quote-unquote modern clothes, and the businessman is like checking it. He's like, it's so comfortable and so on. And Picard is talking about how wonderful the new modern clothes are, and they're more comfortable, and the cloth and the fibers are blah, 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 advanced space magic tech, whatever. And I can't help but think how the reality of that is 180 degrees down, 180 degrees around from that. That, like, those things, just like Groove said, itchy and scratchy polyester blend messes that were probably like wearing a friggin' sweat box under studio lights. It's just like, I'd like between takes, I'd just be like, is it going to be a big deal if I just step out of this unitard and just walk around in boxers and a t-shirt? Because holy God. Still better than David Prowse or, Anthony Daniels and I've gone blank, C-3PO's actor in Tunisia in the desert wearing their costumes. But yeah, that's I can't imagine that the clothes they had to wear on Star Trek were anything less than uncomfortable. But anyway, so let's see, what do we got this week? Tomorrow, I have got a D&D game to play for you guys. And we'll also be dealing with something, unfortunately, our donor to the show, a new initiative just started at his work that will, in all likelihood, knock him out of the Monday gaming time. He will be joining us for the Friday night Gamma World game that is starting at the first of the year. So if you're just coming to the stream, Mr. Grooves, if you missed that announcement, Friday night after the first of the year will be time for a live stream Gamma World game. So we'll be doing that. So he'll be joining us for that, but he may, in all likelihood, in all probability, will have to dip out of the Tuesday afternoon AD&D game. You'll be missed, Linrick. But that opens up an interesting door, because we will be able to talk about what to do when a player has to leave medium to long term, or even depart completely, and how do you adjust the game accordingly. And I should add, that opens up the door a little bit. If there's somebody out there who's been thinking, maybe I'd like to join that, but I don't know, but you've kind of dug it, but you're like, oh, Bill only wants 4 or 5 players in. Now's going to be your chance to jump in. I don't know if Rusty's going to be here tomorrow. Maybe he can leave a comment below in the comments. But if that's possible, for one last grand adventure for Linrick, that'd be great. But we'll deal with what goes on when a player has to step away for a long period of time. Do you kill their character off? Does their character wander away from the party? Do you run their characters an NPC? See, we will talk about all those possibilities and all the options for the DM a little bit tomorrow when we kick off the next session of AD&D. Wednesday, the night before Thanksgiving, I will be out here with Kyle. Co-host Kyle and I will be talking about stuff and things and cool stuff. Thursday, no live stream on Thursday. I will be filling myself with turkey and enjoyment and tryptophan and wine and other delicious victuals. Groove says, I'm interested, but I always get here late. Well, get up earlier, Mr. Left Coast guy. Get up earlier. It's an excuse to be up on time on Wednesdays. And finally, Friday we will return. Black Friday. What will we do Friday? Probably be an open line. Probably going to be an open line. I'm glad I got the camera mounted back over here. I may do some more painting on Friday while I listen to and read your comments. I don't know. We're going to have to see. Of course, tonight is Monday night AD&D for my regular group. Friday, we will catch up with what happened on the Monday night game. So you guys will get to find that out. I have a job. I make money. I'm useful. Bah. What is this to the hand that plays Dungeons and Dragons? I give you this. Such a waste. Contemplate this at the table of woe. Crucify him. No, I understand, dude. I understand. Hey, maybe consider that Friday Night Gamma World thing, Mr. Grooves. It's there. It's there. But if you're available, if you do have an availability midday, make that your lunch. You know? You don't need to be eating. Make Tuesday afternoons your AD&D. What'd you do for lunch today, Bob? Well, you must know, I explored Castle Greyhawk. I slew some orcs. I took some treasure. Bob, I'm going to need you to see the company psychologist. Anyway. So that's what I got for today, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed watching the unboxing, the cool little stuff that I unboxed, and seeing the Communicator. I almost said phaser. Okay, so full reveal time. When I was a little kid, I thought the Communicator and the hand phaser were the same box. I thought they were. And the utility, man, you know, you got this. But then you can also disintegrate a Klingon with it. I think I can be forgiven. I was probably 6 or 7 at the time. But anyway, guys, that is what I have for the day. I hope you had as much fun checking this stuff out as I did showing it off. Big special thanks to friend of the show. Shout out to my buddy, Rusty Schaefer, not just for the homage dice set, but indeed and exactly for the Communicator phone handset, which I'm going to pair up to my phone today and just have stupid amounts of fun with. So you guys have an absolute blast. Mr. Grooves, I'm going to hold you to that, joining us for the Gamma World game on Friday. Everybody else, I will see you tomorrow. Phone rings during battle. Hello. I'm going to see everyone tomorrow. Have a happy week. And look, if you got to take off, if you got to go over the river and through the woods, and like this is the only time you could really sit and listen today, thank you for stopping by. Please have safe travels, and please have a very happy Thanksgiving. I love you all, and I love being on the show, and I love doing this for you guys. I'm looking forward to 2022 and more fun and more coolness. Y'all have an absolute blast of a day, and I will see you tomorrow at the same time for some advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Peace, be well, be good to each other. Bye-bye.